Yeah.
Hello. Hello everyone. Thank you for coming today. How is the food today? Okay. Thank you for everyone for coming today. It's been a great time and seeing so many of you guys so interested in our transfer talk. This transfer workshop is by Foothill-De Anza College, and we so thankful for Christy for also coming to share about her transfer tips as well. Okay, great. So I also did a same workshop, not the same, but the 1.0 in February. This February is more about filling up the application, how you really write the UC application and stuff. So you guys can just go to YouTube and just search Word Flags, and then you guys can see the complete transfer process. So this is 2.0. It's more of our essays and also more of our tips. So I'm gonna first introduce myself. I'm Wei Cheng Lam, or you guys can call me Anderson Lam. I'm a second-year student studying at Foothill and also De Anza. I'm the president of Foothill ISC and also the founder of De Anza ISC. I'm from Malaysia, of course, and I'm transferring to Berkeley this year in ECS.
Hi everyone, my name is Christy and I'm also a second-year student at De Anza in Foothill. I'm an international student from Hong Kong and I'm going to be transferring to Berkeley's High School of Business this fall.
So I know some of us are here that are really going to good university as well. For example, Jason going to UC Berkeley, Risa is going to UCLA, Samantha is going to San Francisco State, Ivy from going to Berkeley, and who else that I didn't call it? Can you guys stand out and then just like we all give you a round of applause? Yeah, just stand up. All who are transferring this year, just stand up. And Ezra, yes, Ezra is going to Berkeley as well. Lisa. Yeah, thank you all. I mean, you all did a good job for your application, and congratulations again. So I'm gonna just do some questions, and can I know how many here are CS majors? Just raise up your hand. CS. Oh my God. How about electrical engineering? How about business? Oh my. Good job. How about maths, chemistry, physics? Wait, those who didn't raise up, what's your major? Art? Oh, okay. Biology? Okay. Good, it's a good major. I love that. I love those majors. And anyone who are applying this year? Only you? Oh. Applying this year? Okay, that's a lot. How about applying this year? How about next year? Next year. Applying next year? Oh, okay. And who's Berkeley is Berkeley? Wait.
Whose first choice is Berkeley?
Yes. Thank you. First choice is Berkeley. Then LA? Wow. That's not LA. Why? Okay, so I'm just gonna share about my stacks. A lot of people ask where did I get accepted and what's my essay. So I got into all the UCs I apply. I got into all the Cal State I apply. I got into UIUC as well, and also some private technology university. I applied some of the private like Illinois Tech, Indiana Tech. It's because they give a lot of scholarship. Like Illinois Tech, they give me 25K of scholarship per year. So it's like I'm just applying to see how much they're willing to give. So I might actually consider going to Illinois Tech at first, but then it's okay. Berkeley is the best. So go Bears! Yeah. So this is the acceptance letter, and of course, when there is acceptance, there's definitely also rejection. I got rejected by UMich and also Carnegie Mellon. I really want to get into Carnegie Mellon, but it's very competitive to transfer from community college to Carnegie Mellon, and it's okay. I'm still waiting for Georgia Tech and also Cornell. Georgia Tech is coming tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. and Cornell is next Tuesday or the week after. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I didn't apply to any CSUs just because, I don't know, I didn't feel like applying. And I mostly applied to UCs and like a few privates. So I'm still waiting for the private schools. But yeah, I'm accepted to like most of the UCs I applied to. And oh, today I got waitlisted for Columbia, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Berkeley. Okay. So this is my stats. When I applied, I got 3.98 GPA, and I only left with 2 classes, required classes for Berkeley, and also 1 required classes from UCLA. And I did all the the strongly recommended courses for UC Berkeley and UCLA for X major, and also I get C. I guess C is not required for College of Engineering for Berkeley, but it's actually recommended for all other UCs. So if I don't get to Berkeley, I still need IGEC. So that time I just finished all the IGEC, take as many classes as I could. And I'm earning 4 associate degrees in engineering, physics for transfer, and mathematics. And it's also not required for you guys to do English test. And I did it 2 years ago and I got 135 out of 160, but it's good to report it as well. And this is the study plan for my study plan to get into Berkeley as X major. Wei Han. This is my study plan. Yes. Yeah. So I did all my classes. I did major courses every quarter, and I only left with 2 required courses for Berkeley. I don't know why Berkeley requires English 1C, but I don't know why but the thing is only College of Engineering requires English 1C, so it's unlucky for me. Yep.
Okay, so for me, when I applied, I had a 4.0 GPA. I took 25 classes when I applied, and then I finished all of my major required courses when I applied to Berkeley. I had 2 classes left when I applied to LA, and all the strongly recommended courses for Berkeley, I finished all of them when I applied. I also finished my IGEC requirement. And then for Berkeley's G requirements, it's not a transfer requirement, but a graduation requirement. I'm also like 80% finished with it when I applied. And for the Duolingo English test, usually when you apply to private schools, you have to kind of report your English proficiency. And since my IELTS test expired, I took another Duolingo test. So yeah. As for my UC extracurriculars, I had quite a few things to put. I put 1 education preparation program. So that's the Berkeley's starting point mentorship, where they basically pair you up with a current student and they'll kind of guide you through the transfer process and any questions you may have about transferring. And then I also included 3 academic awards and 1 non-academic awards. It's mostly for this business club I'm involved in. And then I included 2 employments, both for tutoring. I think tutoring is a great thing to do, especially as an international student, because it gives you a lot of flexibility and also gives you the chance to interact with different people and kind of learn how to be in a group setting. I also included 3 internships. So the first one is for a tech startup. Second one is for a consulting startup project, and the third one is a media tech company. And I also included 1 volunteering opportunities and then 6 extracurricular activities. So like 6 clubs. So like president and vice president and mostly marketing stuff. And also peer mentor. I feel like that's a pretty good opportunity to get involved in school activities and also just things to put in your PIQs. I feel like it's really important to show variety and the impact you have created. So really quantify your achievements. So for example, when you include in your UC application, don't just say I expanded the club, I invited more members, kind of really quantify it and say like I expanded the club by 200%. I recruited more than 20 members and so on. Yeah.
Yes, Christy has a lot of extracurriculars. For me, I have.
You're like 10.
I have 20. I did as much as I could. I fill in all the extracurricular activities. I do 2 education preparation program. It's the same as Christy. I did UC Berkeley SPMP. It's actually a really good program if you guys really want to get into Berkeley. SPMP is the best. And there's also UCLA Storm. So it's the same program that pairs you with a mentor, and then they're going to guide you through the process, the application process, and tell you about UCLA and also UC Berkeley. At De Anza, I don't think there's academic awards. Maybe there is, but I don't really know. But in 2020 and 2021, my professor nominated me for Language Art Division Award and so STEM Division Award. And I have 1 non-academic award, 3 employment, 2 volunteering, and 10 extracurricular activities. So the 10 extracurricular activities just like clubs, organizations, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add, you don't have to have like a bunch of things.
You should.
You should never like stretch yourself too thin because it's more about the quality over quantity. So it's different for everyone. That's all I can say.
No. Both are important. Quantity and quality is very important. Yes. So yes. If you have 20, you can put 20. If you have 15, you can put 15. It's good to have more. Yeah, so this is all the organization that I joined and also part of. And yes, so essay. So I got a significant challenge. Not everyone has significant challenge, but I chose to write my story about what experience that I had before this and how it affected my academic a lot. So when I was in middle school, I was a very not annoying kid, but very like someone that don't study at all. Because I joined a lot wrong group of friends. I don't study, I skip school, I play game, my GPA like roller coaster going up, going down. Because my primary school, my GPA was very good, but then when I go to middle school, it's basically drop, all the way drop, and I failed 7 subjects out of 10. I was very disappointed in myself, and I think it's because my sister and brothers, they all got straight A's for all their exams, and I'm the only one that failed 7 subjects. So it was very bad and very embarrassing in some way. And then, so I come clean with my parents and say that I want to change to a new school. I want to transfer to a better high school. And I requested to be a top 1 science classes, which is, I think it's a good choice, even though it was very challenging, but I really like it. And it's worth it because the teachers and the students there are very good. They all supported me in every different way. And eventually my grades starting to improve from failing from C to B to A, and eventually got an A+ for all my final high school exam. I graduated from my high school, strive at Foothill College, maintaining good GPA, and then started my own clubs. And here I am at going to Berkeley. Yes. So what I really like to say is that I think essays is really about stories. For me, I would like to write stories. I like to write a lot of stories, like how I experienced this thing and why, how middle school thing really affected who I am right now. And I think it's good to have your to have your experience in your essay. Yeah.
Yeah, so for my essay, since we are picking three question out of seven, these are the three I picked. And yeah, so I picked one about leadership, where I kind of wrote about being a club vice president. One about being creative, and I talked about my marketing internship at a tech company. And then the significant challenge, I wrote about just like trauma in my life, like political trauma, because I am from Hong Kong. So yeah, not gonna go into that, but I am going to talk about the first one. Yeah, so I feel like it's really important to show variety and show depth about like who you are as a person, because we all have pretty good stats, and what really sets us apart is really the story we tell and how we kind of market and brand ourselves. So for my leadership experience, I wrote about being a vice president for a mental health advocacy group on campus. I really want to share this because this is not related to my major at all, but it does show something that I'm passionate about. So in the introduction, I kind of really gave a concise definition of what I think a leader should be. I kind of gave some, adjectives and stuff, and then kind of lead into what I'm going to talk about in the rest of the essay. And then I kind of talked about how the club was inactive during COVID-19 because a lot of people couldn't really transition to the virtual space. And it really sucks because that's the time where most people are struggling with their mental health, and having that club be active would be a lot of help to a lot of people. So I kind of talked about the specifics of what I did. So for example, recruiting a new team of club officers, and then dedicating tasks and according to each one's talents and strengths, and then also rebranding our club. So that's kind of related to business. So yeah, just talk about the specific actions that you took. And then, and then the next thing, I kind of gave a really specific example. So like I talked about a panel that I hosted and organized, which was in partnership with the social science department in school. And yeah, that was a really pivotal moment for me. It kind of was motivating for me to see that I'm actually making an impact in school, which I think is really important. So the admissions office just really want to see the impact you are trying to make or the impact you have made. So it's really important to show specific examples unique to you and also quantifying your achievement. So for example, I'm talking about how our club expanded by 2 times and we increased more than 500 followers for our club. And then, yeah, at the end, just kind of talk about how this role or how this experience kind of impacted you, and also kind of look into the future and talk about how this experience will continue leading you in your college journey and even your life. Yeah.
So I just write out some of the questions that most of the people ask me. What can I do if my GPA is lower than 3.8? Anyone that is lower than 3.8?
I got a C, not lower than 3.8.
Yeah. Get a C doesn't mean that you're gonna get lower than 3.8 sometimes. So what? No. So what can you do if your GPA is lower than 3.8? As you know, most of the UCs, especially UC Berkeley, they requires 3.5 and above. For ECS, 3.8 and above. For very competitive major, they want 3.9 and above. So it really depends. What can you do? Definitely take a lot of easy GE classes. Easy. So you can boost your GPA. At least you can boost at least 0.03, 0.02. It's also good enough. It's good enough to boost your GPA, and plan out your education plan again to make sure that you can get A in all the classes that you are taking until you finish applying. That means that it's for 2022, It's the last quarter that you have to really take care of your grades. You have to get an A to maintain your GPA, and definitely never fail or get any C. If you get a C, it's bad, but it's not the end. Those don't fail. You don't want you don't want to have an F in your transcript. So I have a friend that got into Berkeley last year as a bioengineering, and she failed a class and she got rejected by Berkeley eventually. So she was preparing everything going to Berkeley already, but then she got rejected by Berkeley eventually. Yeah, that's how it works. So you don't fail any class, try to get at least a C. Yes, and do a lot of extracurricular activities. Don't only study. Study is important, definitely important. But study sucks. Who say that? Study is important. Study is very important, but it's also important for you to improve your social skills and also build a lot of connections and also build community. I would say study is not everything. I would say. For me, I don't really focus on studying. I do a lot of extracurricular activities. I like doing it. That's why I just nah. Can I know which month is this? Which month is it right now? Which month? May. How many months until UC application? 6 months. How about UC Tech? Tech transfer admission guarantee. 4 months. Yeah, around there. Yeah. So you guys still have 6 months to go. I'm not trying to stress you guys out. I really don't. Is that I want to let you guys know that there's 6 more months for you guys to apply. So start your essays as soon as possible. I started my essay in July last year. How about you, Christy?
Around the same time.
Yeah. So we all started early because it's really important to start early. You can actually now start to think about the story that you want to write in your essay, or even decide which question you want to write in your application. And can I have a hands up of people that's CS and data science? So less. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. So one good news and one bad news. Sorry, this is good news. If you try to take articulated courses to UC Berkeley, if you really want to aim for Berkeley, try to take courses at Berkeley or at other community college, especially CS 61A at Laney College, 61B, 61C at Double Valley. This is what Berkeley X advisor really recommend, because as you see from Foothill-De Anza, our articulation, you see that that's why articulation is subject to a completion of university course. And even if you take 22C at De Anza, you can't transfer to Computer Science 61B. You still have to take 1 more classes at Berkeley in order to fulfill the requirement to transfer it, which is not worth it, because the class is basically doing project. And if you do project, you fail it, you have to retake the class again. So it's waste of time. So a lot of students, after they transfer, they retake 61A, 61B, 61C. But if you take it at Laney 61A, which is fully transferable, you don't need to take it anymore at Berkeley. At Double Valley, you take 61B, 61C, you don't need to take it anymore at Berkeley, which save 1 year. So you basically go to Berkeley for 1 year only, if you want to. Yeah. And the time when I asked what programming language they are using. 61A, they are using Python. 61B, they are using Java. 61C, they are using C. Where's C++? I don't know why. I learned C++ so hard, and then they tell me they don't even use C++. So, but then when you know C++, you basically know all this language already, because all languages are easier than C++.
Okay, so for business majors, the course loads are definitely not as intense as a CS major. You only have to take like accounting, economics, and calculus. But it's really important to network, as all business majors do. So there are a lot of major specific resources, especially if you're aiming for Berkeley Haas. There's a ongoing program called Envision Haas, where every few weeks they would do kind of like an info session on how you can successfully transfer to Haas, because it is a more strenuous process than most other majors. So after we hand in our UC applications, we still have another application to do, which includes a resume, another essay, and also an interview. So it is quite a bit of work. But they do have a really good association. So they do a lot of transfer outreach events. And that's a great chance to network with people who have transferred there, people from De Anza who have transferred there, or other students, or even recruiters for different companies. So it's really a great chance to start building your network and connect with a lot of different people. And yeah, regarding like courses, just make sure that you're fulfilling your math requirements, because some schools business program, they only require until 1B. But for schools like UCSD, they do require to 1D. So just make sure you're doing everything you can. As for TAG, so the transfer admissions guarantee, I tagged to UC Irvine. Yeah, and the tag period is from September 1st to September 30th. So what you can do is you can go and assist and kind of look at the tag requirements for your different majors. And then during September, you can apply for your tag. So basically, if you can fulfill the requirement, you are basically guaranteed to be accepted to that major. Yeah. And then
I applied to UC Davis, and UC Davis is the only school that will tell you if your tag is approved by mid of November. So even before you submit your application, you can actually know if you get accepted to UC Davis already or not. Yeah, so that's tag. And some of the schools, they will provide you scholarship. Only these schools here, they will provide you scholarship. And UC Davis, they provided me 8,750 scholarship per year. So if you put less, like in your application, you put your family annual income lesser, you will get more scholarship. So what I didn't do, I regret. Life hack. So it's definitely it's good to do tag because it's a backup school. If you don't get into Berkeley, LA, San Diego, you at least can get into Irvine, Davis, and all these schools. It's a good Irvine, Davis is also pretty good school. Santa Barbara is also pretty good school. All these schools are good as well. So I'm gonna ask you guys to have 5 minutes to think about how many extracurricular activities that you have right now. EC, yes, EC. How many you have? Think, list out. Yeah, I will just give you guys 5 minutes to do so. Just 5. It can be academic, can be a lot of stuff. There's still so many to go. Oh my God. Wait, how many time do I have? Okay, half an hour. Okay. It should be okay. After that, half an hour for Q&A.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. No problem.
That's when I started. That's
All right. Come back, guys. Come back. Okay. How many people has more than 15?
Let's start small.
Okay, let's start small. How many people has more than 5? Huh?
5 and above.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's 5 and above. Doesn't matter.
Maybe within how many years?
2? 2 or 3? 2 or 3? Include your high school if you want. More than 5? Who has more than 10? Okay, so
What about their goal for next quarter?
what? Say again?
Next quarter.
Oh, hey, how about what's your goal? I don't know how to ask.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so if you guys have less than 5, it's good to do more. It's definitely important to do more. Do it at least 15. 15 is good. 15 is a good number. You can definitely get into Berkeley or LA. So some people ask me what EC can I do right now? If you guys want to take picture, it's important. Here's all the stuff that I list out that I think still has the opportunities for you to do EC. First of all, definitely SPMB, Berkeley SPMB, UCLA Storm, or become a mentor at Mentors De Anza, teaching assistant, Pastor Tosh. Start a new club. Anyone want to start a new club? What club do you want to start?
I started a Burmese student association.
Oh, let's go. Anyone want to start a new club? What club do you want to start?
It's a Foothill Sports Recreational Club.
Ooh. Nice. Is anyone here in ASFC or DASG, student government for Foothill and also at De Anza?
I quit.
Okay. It's definitely good to join student government because it really gives you a lot of experience and you will learn a lot of different people. Yeah, it's good. DSG is good. Foothill ASFC is good too. I would also suggest you guys to join competitions if you guys can. Join a lot of competitions and try to win places because awards actually plays an important role in your application, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Then volunteer. How many hours do we need? Do anyone remember? Yes, correct. Oh. Yeah, we have to volunteer at least 100 hours. Okay, that volunteer, and then for sure internship is very important. Internship for 3 months, for 2 months, for 1 month, in your home country, in the US, in other country, just do it. Just find internship as much as you can, do it, and then no problem. It's good. It's very good to do internship. You yourself can learn a lot of experience, and also you can write in your application. That's a good thing. And of course, if you can join international organizations like WWF or if any international United Nations, they are United Nations for not young children, but young adults. For young adults, you can join if you guys want. Just join because it really helps you to like learn about other stuff other than studying. Yeah, it's like you are stepping out of your comfort zone to meet with students from different country, from different culture, from different religion. Basically, like we are here, we are all international organizations, international club. We all meet international people. We learn about their culture. We learn about their background. We learn about their religion. So it's a good thing.
Okay, so for your PIQs, I feel like that's probably the most important part for your UC application because like I said before, the stats are probably all the same for every applicant. So what really sets you apart is how you brand yourself and how you tell your story. So really show your character, show depth, and really start early if you can. So you can have enough time to show it to different people and get second or third opinions. And never be afraid to reach out to different alumni or friends or even professors for your help. I was pretty intimidated at first, just like reaching out to people. I reached out to a bunch of English professors and even friends that have transferred to Haas to look at my essays. They gave some pretty brutal comments, but they made my essay so much better. So never be afraid. And a lot of people are afraid of brainstorming, like they have no idea what they're going to talk about. So that's also related to starting early. So you can, whenever you have an idea pop out in your head, you can just write it down on your phone or something. And then so over time, you can kind of get a sense of what your story is and who you are as a person. Yeah.
Yeah. For my essay, I had more than 10 people read it and review it. I have Gary, I have Michael, who are in ISF. They helped me to check my essay and give a lot of suggestions. And I mean, eventually it went well. Going to Berkeley, going to LA, so it's a good essay, I guess. And definitely, yeah, as what Christy said, don't be afraid to ask anyone. Just let them check your essays. If they give you very harsh comment, it's good for you in some way.
Yeah, so for PIQs, there's you have to write 4 in total. So the first one is required. So kind of talk about how De Anza or how your other experience have prepared you for your intended major and how it makes you ready for your upper division classes. Yeah, so this one's pretty self-explanatory. As for the others, there are seven questions and you can choose 3 out of 7. I kind of grouped the questions into 3 main groups. So the first one is talk about your leadership experience and how you kind of made an impact over time. So that one will be related to leadership. The second one would be talking about how you express your creativity. So that one would be how you brand yourself, how you are unique. The third one would be writing about your greatest talent or skill. So also that's kind of like showing how you are unique and different from others. And the fourth one is describe how you have taken advantage of a significant educational opportunity or challenge. So that would be a life experience where you have to overcome a challenge. And the fifth one would be describe the most significant challenge you have faced. So that one would be kind of related to the one before. So kind of talk about the experience you have faced and what steps you have taken to overcome that challenge. And the sixth one is how you have made your school or community a better place. So this one is related to leadership. Talk about how your different positions allow you to create change in your campus or your community. It can be a very insignificant change, but as long as you can make just a tiny bit of impact, that's already enough. And the last one, I feel like that's not that many people write about this, but what do you think what makes you stand out as a strong candidate? So you can basically write about anything. Anything that makes you different.
Yeah, if you can't find any questions if you can't find anywhere to write about your story, this is the only place that you should write. This is the place that you can write, You can write your story about and why do you stand out as a strong candidate for Berkeley, for UC. Yeah. For me, I would definitely suggest you guys to write community essay, which is the one. What have you done to make your school or community a better place? Because it's really community is very important, and UC they really cares about you do stuff other than academics. So it shows when you write the community essay, it shows that you don't only care about yourself, but you also care about others. You become a club of president, you serve the students. You go to volunteer, you help the people that is in need. You go to orphanage, you help the children that need care, need love. So I will suggest you guys to write community essay. And also, it would be great if you guys can write a significant challenge, like what I shared just now is a good one. If you guys had, it can probably be financial or academic or health or anything that you think is a challenge. If you think it's a challenge, you should just share it out. Tell the admission officer about this issue, this story. Skip. And also, I was just saying that if you can't find any place, just write it here. This is the only chance that you can write about anything that you don't find a place to write. Yeah. And of course, use strong but suitable words. You can, for me, I say it's kind of bragging, but it's okay. I was saying that by investing in me, the UC invest in the future of our global food supply. That was very bragging word because I don't know, but it just come out. It's just like saying if UC doesn't accept me, our future global food supply is gonna be bad. Yeah. So Gary actually helped me to write that, but it was a good sentence that I really like it. It's like if UC doesn't accept me, it's just their own what? Yeah, their loss. Yeah. Then I was also saying that I believe that world-class education at UC will help me to achieve my dream. Because I wrote a lot about like I want to go back to Malaysia to improve the technology in farming, in agriculture. So that's my dream, and I really hope that I firmly believe that world-class education at UC will help me to achieve my dream. So these are some of the words that you can use over and over again to really show that you are so passionate of getting into Berkeley. UC, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like it's really important to show confidence without attitude. So like, I know a lot of people may feel inferior because, oh, I'm a CC student, I'm not good enough, but you are good enough. You're here, you're making like such big steps. So you should never be you should never feel like an imposter because you are enough and you are able to get into a good school. But at the same time, kind of show that you're humble and you are willing to learn and you look forward to the many opportunities you can get from attending a UC. Yeah, I feel like that's so important.
That's pretty much it. That's what the stats and essay that we want to give. And if you guys want to contact us, just here on the contact list.
Yes.
The one. So you can just find us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or any officers of Foothill-De Anza College. What? And then email. If you guys have something, you can just email us. Or if really, really important, our Berkeley email. Okay, Q&A session. Any questions? Just ask tons of questions. We are ready to answer your questions.
About the extracurricular activity, does it have to be listed in the De Anza thing? Because I am a music producer and I don't know if I can include that as my extracurricular activity as well.
I think you can. It doesn't have to be the answer. It can be anywhere.
So as long as I can prove myself and what the hell am I to do, that's all right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the UC application page, you can kind of choose between, there are different categories, so like employment, internships, volunteer, and so on. So you can just choose employment and write about what you did.
Yeah, it's good. You had a good, it's good thing.
Just another one. How did you guys get the internship opportunity?
I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. I do a lot of networking. So it's really important because once you get a good network of people, they can refer you to different opportunities.
Connections is very important. Just go to Instagram, find everyone, follow all of them, then they follow back you. That's how you go. Yeah. Internship, just go to LinkedIn or find, if I would just say your father's connection. If your father is a businessman, he has a lot of connections. I mean, it is what it is. You need internship. You want to get into good university, this is how you do it. Like some of the students, they pay money to get into good university. So Any questions? First years? Yeah.
Can I take only 61B and 61C at Diablo Valley College instead of taking another 61A at Berkeley?
Lady?
Yeah.
Wait.
Skip the 61A.
You still have to take it at Berkeley.
So if I skip 61A, I have to take again at Berkeley. as well?
Yeah. Because it's not prerequisite. So if you can do 61A, 61B together, then yeah. But I would say do 61B and 61C in the DVC. A lot of my friends did DVC and they all can transfer to Berkeley. And then they don't have to take 61B and 61C. Because these two classes is very hard. A lot of people get a C in this class. And I heard they say it's always full. So it's really hard for you to register for these classes because it's CS. And also like a lot of freshmen, CS freshmen, they are competing with the EAT student to take this class. Yeah. Any question?
In order to keep my GPA, is it recommended to take pass on some hard classes?
No,
No.
because you really have to show that you're capable of taking a more intense workload. So it's better to have you grade.
And I think in SCs they say that if it's your major course, you have to take a letter grade. It's A or B or C. It's no pass or pass. Yeah. Yes.
Can you include your high school extracurricular activities in your essay overall?
Yeah, you definitely can. But it's always better to include more recent ones.
Unless you have very good extracurricular activities in your high school. Like let's say you win top 1 in the world. Yes.
Let's just say the one fails to do the transfer this year and he or she takes about 3 years. Let's just say that. Do you think taking an extra year will be a disadvantagement to one's transfer system?
No.
Okay then.
It's actually helps a lot because you're gonna have more time to do your classes. You can finish more major courses and you have more time to do internship and stuff.
All right.
Just make sure you're not going over the unit requirement, the maximum unit. Because some people, they will go over and they cannot transfer it.
How much is the maximum?
120? Yeah.
I'm 140. I don't know.
Yes.
So you said something about the maximum transferable units, but I also heard something that the only limit is how many units that can be considered by the new school. It's not like you can-
Yes. But also when you graduate, there's also like a unit cap, so it's better not to go over. So.
Yeah, so even like if you are taking like 150 units, when you transfer, I think it's only maximum 136, 35. Yeah. There's a cap for it. They don't allow you to transfer every classes that you take in.
It's possible to finish all the required classes in 5 quarters, like for business as well. Like I
Yeah,
used to
I
work
would
in
think so.
Montreal, so I'm thinking about applying this year. So I only got 5 quarters, so I think it might be possible or not, but I'm still confusing. But
Yeah, I think it's possible if you don't have to do like pre-calculus or anything. It's definitely possible. It would just be more intense, but I believe you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you applied to some out of state and private institutions. Can you tell what that looks like? Because I'm interested in out of state.
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so for private schools, usually you apply through Common App or My Coalition. So you kind of, each school require different things. So you have to write essays for each school, which is a lot of work. And after that, you also have to submit every document to each school. So like each school will have a portal and you have to upload everything all over. For example, you have to upload your high school transcripts, and I had to contact my high school counselor for that. And yeah, it's pretty a lot of work. So yeah, I would say go for it. It's not too strenuous if you, yeah.
How about the classes you have to take? Because they don't really list it.
Yeah, they don't really, but usually, as long as you fulfill the user requirements for a major, you're basically set.
Yeah. Out of state is good. It's a good. I mean, it's good to apply out of state, but it's a lot of work. I apply a lot, so that's why you see. I have a lot of letter of recommendation required. I need to ask every different professor to write a letter of recommendation. And also, as a high school, I need to contact my Malaysia high school to send the certificate to the transcript to the US. So it's actually very, very complicated. Yeah. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah, sorry to ask too many things. Where did you guys get like volunteering things? Is it through an organization or was it done privately?
I can suggest you to go to ISF.
No, not that. Anything else?
WWF, World Wildlife Fund.
Worldwide.
Wildlife. WWF. You don't know?
What's the panda?
Panda.
Panda.
Like an animal panda?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
Circle K. You can join Circle K. It's also another club at Anza that do a lot of volunteering. Or you can do if you heard about second house of Silicon Valley, it's one of the biggest volunteering organization in the Bay Area. Just go ahead, just join ask if they have any volunteering opportunities. Yeah. Questions? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Lucia.
Do you have like in-person interviews before you got accepted into UC or something?
I had an interview for my business major in class. It's not an one-on-one interview, but rather a video interview. So I had 5 minutes to answer 5 questions, and I only had 3 takes to fill my answers. And you don't know the questions beforehand.
For each, no. For each we don't have any interview, which is good.
How do you apply for the academic?
At Foothill, just ask the professor to nominate you.
How about
Or if they automatically nominate you. Like what the time I didn't know about this award until they sent me an email saying that I won this award. Yeah. It's really you have to really show that you study a lot and put a lot of effort into the class. I did Maths 1C and I became a teaching assistant for 4 Maths 1C classes. So the professor nominated me for the award.
So you can only apply for like the classes you're taking right now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can't ask any professor to nominate you. It's only the one that knows you or like they think that you really put in a lot of effort. Then they'll give you.
then how about in the answer? We don't have the system.
I'm not the answer student.
So
I'm not too familiar with this, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same thing. So really try to connect with the professor and maybe ask about some award opportunities and maybe ask them to nominate you.
all right.
Yeah.
With such good GPAs and so much extracurricular activities, can you give some study tips and time management tips, I guess?
Okay. I keep a really organized Google Calendar. That's like how I function in life. I also use like Notion or GoodNotes to really take notes and
Study hard, no, study smart.
yeah.
Don't procrastinate. I always say don't procrastinate. When you have assignment due in this Sunday, do it today. Finish it today, submit today.
Yeah, I would rather do it like bit by bit every day than do it all the last day because I would just burn myself out.
Yeah, that's why. Because I know that I'm gonna have a lot of things in the weekend, so I try to finish it as soon as possible. Yeah.
Do you have some advice for civil engineering students?
Say again?
Do you have any advice for civil engineering?
Civil engineering.
Before you know any a lot of
I know some people in Berkeley that's civil engineering, but I'm not that close with them. But civil engineering, let's see. Right on, yeah. And I have the stats of people getting into Berkeley for engineering college this year. So civil engineering, there's 45 people that go into Berkeley, and X that's 128, and mechanical engineering that's 87 people, and Energy engineering only have 2, and bioengineering there's 26. So other than, I think famous engineering courses has more students. Wow. Okay. Jackie, take Chem 1A, Chem 1B, Chem 1C. Maths 1A, Maths 1B, Maths 1C, 1D, 2A, 2A, 4B, 4A, 4B, 4C. English 1A, 1B, 1C. Yes, and also engineering 35, 46. Just basically take all the classes that is in the assist. Also, if you can take classes at Berkeley, that is better. So Berkeley offers summer classes for some of these courses like this one. They offer you take it, try to take it if you can, because it's gonna show that you are capable of doing upper division courses. I think this is our lower division requirement, but it's good that you can do it right now. Yeah. Any more questions? Just ask. Don't be shy. Yes.
Yeah, I heard some of the engineering students are like evaded from the IGETC thing. Is it true? I get C thing. Yeah.
What was the question again? Sorry.
So I heard some of the engineering students are like, not really negated to do such things.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yes, it is true. For Berkeley, it's not recognized. I guess it's not recognized.
So is it different per university or is it something general?
It's different from the universities.
Okay.
It's only Berkeley engineering don't recognize IGC, but UCLA, all those other schools, they recognize it. Yeah. Because Berkeley, they think that you already have so many major courses to take, no point of doing IGC. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That kind of makes sense.
How can I apply for the education preparation program?
How to apply?
Go ahead.
Okay, so his question was how to apply for educational preparation program. I would just go look at different UCs, their website for transfer students. They usually will have like a resources page, and that's where I found the starting point mentorship program.
Yeah, I think they always open a lot of application in the start of the semester. So I'm gonna be the mentor in SPMP next fall. So if you become a mentee, I might need you. Yeah. Yes. Any CS questions? Any questions? Any business questions? Ask right now, or you will regret. Oh, sorry.
What do you think is the biggest reason we found?
What's the biggest reason we got it? I think my essays probably, because I did spend a lot of time on my essay, and especially the one about submission challenge. I feel like my challenge is pretty unique, and it really showed like resilience and strength.
For me, I think it's my extracurricular activities because I did a lot of stuff. So that's the reason. Nice.
What is the right time to apply for like the first year or second year?
Can you repeat the question?
So it's all about the programs and the mentor, like the one that you said you're offering next year. So when is the appropriate time to apply for it? Like when you're in first year or second year, community college?
So you were telling about the program, right? Like I forgot what it was.
SPNP.
Yep, that one.
Okay.
So when is the right time to apply for it? Like when you're students at the answer, so at what time do you apply to like, or like what time did you personally, the two of you apply? Oh, so I did the program for 2 quarters. So I apply by the end of the previous quarter. That's when the application period opens.
Is there any requirement?
No, I don't think there's any requirements.
No, there's no requirement. I did for SPMP for a year, so that's around 3 quarters. So you can do anytime you want, but it's recommended to do it before you apply. Yeah. So you can put in your application. Yes.
How do you become a peer mentor? Because I know to become a tutor, you just gotta, yeah, thank you.
How do you become a peer mentor? I just know that for tutoring, you just gotta apply through like the Anza official website, but like, is there a certain step that I should be following to become a peer mentor?
Yeah, so I was a mentee before becoming a mentor, and for becoming a peer mentor, I just filled out an application form, and there's like a training course I have to take, and I take it during while I was a mentor, so it really isn't that much work.
Yes. I can't listen to you. Definitely can't.
If I was out of state, do I need to take any extra classes?
No. Wait, it depends.
Depends on that.
It depends on the school, the out of state school. But for me, I get to use UIUC. All the courses that I'm taking in Foothill are transferable to UIUC, and also they have courses. They have pages in their website that show the articulation. So if you take Maths 1A, it might be their Maths 1A, maybe. Yeah. Just check their website for everything. But
So, what would you say is your biggest challenge during the application process?
Biggest challenge. Just like self-doubt, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I like overthinking. It's one of my hobbies, and yeah, so I really do doubt myself a lot, but especially when I show my essays to a bunch of people and they all had different things to say, I kind of didn't know what to do with it. But at the end, it's really what you make of it.
for me, biggest challenge is no challenge. The time. Not enough time to really check everything again and again and again and again. Even though I submitted in November 25th, but like I still feel like my essay is not that good. I still feel like my extracurricular activities is not that good. I still feel like I want to do more. Yeah, that's the challenge. I want to do more, but you can't. Yeah, and you don't even know if your essays is good enough for the admission officer to look at it. They will look at it.
Did you guys apply for the internships in first year or second year?
Did you guys apply internships in first year or second year at your college?
First year.
Is that possible to apply for internships? But I have we can apply in our year one. I knew like this.
What's it?
We can apply for internship. We can work in here in our when we arrive just only 1 year. We can apply for any jobs and internships. I have this, so it's possible to apply for internships in our first year, right?
It is. I applied for a virtual unpaid internship, so there would be less restrictions for that. But just make sure you're still following the requirements. You're not violating.
And so try to get it in your home country. Wait, no, yeah, home country, yes. Try to take it in your home country. Virtual is also good. It's virtual is important. It's just an internship. It's good enough. Virtual. Right? Any more questions?
I want to ask about the honors classes. Did you guys take any of honors class?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Yes. So the honor section for each class is different. It depends on the professor. So for some class, I had to do one extra essay. For some class, I had to join the cross-cultural partnership program. And yeah, so it really depends on the professor and the availability of honors classes each quarter.
It's good to take.
Do you have recommendation for how many honors?
Oh, if you're in the program, you have to take at least 6 honors classes in your time at the end.
That's the honors program, but you can take honors classes just anyone, just as much as you want. But it's not needed actually. I mean, I can't say anything. I'm not business, but it's College of Engineering, they don't require step onwards.
Yeah, it basically just show that you can handle a harsher workload in your rigor.
And it looks nice when there's a pitch.
I did a lot of extracurricular activities back in my home country. I also did an internship. So can I put that experiences in my application? It's been like 1 or 2 years before the COVID time. So can I also put these are like 2 years experiences. Can I also put that?
You can definitely put it. I wouldn't recommend using that for all of it. Just like do a mix with recent or previous experience.
Yeah, make that up.
A quick question for the upcoming summer. I've heard the summer session is usually in the more intense. Like, what's your schedule for summer?
Like for taking classes at home.
Exactly what kind of activity you do that for summer?
Oh, summer. Oh, it was a blur. I did take one class. It was more intense because it was only 6 weeks, so I really had to plan out everything. But at the same time, you have a lot of free time to do whatever you want. If you want to do an internship, that's great. If you want to just chill and relax, that's also great. Because fall is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah. So it's like a 12. So summer is like a 12-week class combined with compressed to 6 weeks. So usually for physics, 1 week 1 chapter. Summer 1 week 2 chapter. 100-200 pages for you. Which is what I don't like. I don't want. That's why you don't see I do physics in summer. Physics is just complicated. Yeah. Yes.
I have 2 questions. Did any of you guys join PTK? Pi to the
I did not join it because it's basically you don't really have to do much. I mean, if you want the name, sure, you have to pay a fee and you get the name, but it's just not worth it, in my opinion.
It's not worth it if you invite village. You have to pay like how much? 70?
70,
Yeah, 70. Just for the name.
Okay. And then if you guys could redo the entire book, what would you do differently?
Wow. Not getting A minus for physics 4. I will get an A. I will try my best to get an A. Because that's the only one I didn't get. I didn't get A. This one.
For me, would be starting my accounting classes earlier because it's required for UCLA. I strongly recommend it for UCLA, but I finished it like in winter. Yeah, so my question is that if there is a requirement of taking series 2 for physics and series 4, both of them. So if I take series 4, because series 4 is like higher than series 2 in like physics. So like if I just take 4 series, is it okay? Like if I just put it and like not take 2A because it's weighted and like,
is it stated in the assist?
Yeah. Yeah. Like because it takes so long because I have to complete 2 series, 4 series. So
why would they do that?
I don't know.
Interesting. What's your major?
It was a biological science.
That sounds tough. But I think but for the purpose, I mean like to really clarify it, just email Berkeley or email to UCLA to ask about it. Or just meet up with some of the advisors there to clarify everything. And if they say you don't need 2A to B, don't do it. Straight away do 4A, 4B, 4C. Yeah. Yes.
So anything I got a question about writing the resume. I got a question about writing the resume, your personal portfolio, and
my resume. What do you mean, like 1-page resume?
in the previous summer I did some internship, but as only for 10 weeks only in a construction firm. And do I have to like if I want to include that in my resume, should I be as detailed as I can, or just briefly?
As detailed as you can, like what you did for the company, like what you help them to achieve. Yeah, let's write it out as detailed as possible.
So the admission officer, they know about it. Yeah, we sorry.
Is it worth it to finish ISC?
It is
In my
worth it.
situation.
If you want to get into Berkeley, it's not worth it. But if you don't
How
get
about
it,
other UCs then?
it's worth it. Only Berkeley doesn't accept ISC. That's why.
For CS, right?
Oh, for CS, yeah, you have you need to do it. For CS, you have to do ISC. It's good. It's good to do ISC.
Questions,
Because
everybody?
there isn't that many required courses.
I love this. Let's go ahead and give it up for them again. Christy and Anderson.
Yes, I'm here. What?
Is this Foothill?
Yeah.
And what about you? Are you graduating from
So this isn't the last graduation. Maybe the first graduation celebration. Maybe you've already had some. But the cards have notes and appreciation from everyone here. If you didn't sign, sign. There's still opportunity. They're still here. Haven't left the room yet. And the flowers, current events. This is the national flower of Ukraine. And so as you step forward into the future, you will meet challenges. You will meet some very hard situations sometimes, and know that you can have the strength and the perseverance to keep on pressing forward in those times, in those situations. So we very much appreciate you. We're also going to have graduation celebration on the 17th of June. And ISF every Thursday night and Friday afternoon from now till then also. Linda is planning and preparing a wonderful graduation celebration. So if you're graduating and transferring this year, I know Anderson did it at the beginning, but put your hand up again. We want to just give you the honor also. Are you transferring? Put it up, put it up, put it up, put it up. Right on. Give it up. So proud of each and every one of you. Send you blessings, prayers. Now, Christy, are you heading out? Are you leaving soon? Did I hear that rumor?
Oh, I am going back to Hong Kong for a month.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this will be about the last celebration that you have. I'm
Yeah.
glad we're doing it tonight then. That is good. And I know, Anderson, your days are just going to get more and more busy. Your parents are coming. Yes, and finals. So I'm glad we're celebrating you both tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate you so much. All right.
Thank you all. Stop recording.